Well, I don't know when my brain's gonna get back into any kind of like helpful thinking space. It's been mushy. 2 weeks. Okay, number 2. The cardboard box in the illustration is shaped like a cube. And so Kason asked that really good question of, right, we don't have of this on our formula sheet. So we always have to remember, right, that when we have a box, it's the rectangular prism. A cube is a special kind of rectangular prism. And they don't give us, right, like they give us square formulas, but they don't give us cube formulas. But because it's a subset of a rectangular prism, those formulas will work, okay? So they give us the surface area, right? And we just worked on surface area on Wednesday. So it's kind of fresher and newer for us. And right, so if we know the surface area of the cube shaped box or box shaped like a cube, then we need to find the measure of the edge, right? Did anyone figure that out? Well, we could use the surface area formula. Yeah, someone got a thought?
For number 2, right?
Uh-huh.
I chose 11.
Okay. And how'd you get 11?
I divided each space by the area or the surface area, which is 726.
Okay, so you took the surface area and divided it by what?
By 6.
By 6.
Yeah, once you get that, you get 121.
Okay.
And once you start doing the side square formula,
Yep.
it would be 11 for each side.
Good. So, right, our rectangular prism, our cube has 6 faces. Okay. So if we take the total surface area and divide it by 6, right, the resulting answer, 121 square inches, right, is the area of one of our faces. So now that we know that 1 square of our cube has an area of 121, right, then we can use our area formula, right? We know that the area of a square is equal, right, to the side squared. So if we take our area, do the square root of that, the square root of 121 is very nice. And so one thing that we learned on, and this is basically what we just did, but we did see in one of our problems on Wednesday, they did have us figure it out. So we know that the surface area of a cube is equal, right, to 6 times, right, the side squared. So there's our, right, our area of 1 square, and then our 6 pieces. How's everyone doing? Very nice job. All right, number 3, slab is pictured here, is the base for a generator. The volume of the slab is 75 cubic feet. What's the depth? Anyone get that? Okay. Well, I mean, it does kind of help us, right? So hopefully, and maybe I could have helped a little bit, but right. So we have 2 of our 3 dimensions, right? We know that maybe this dimension is 15 feet. Maybe this dimension is 10 feet. And then of course the depth is kind of, right, the smallest dimension. Did everyone at least kind of noted that, right? So it's really just how thick it is, right? And they're calling that the depth, but it's also the height. So yeah, right, we could think of 15 as our length, 10 as our width, and our missing dimension is the height. So we can use our formula, right, to say that the volume, oops. So we have the volume 75 is equal to our three dimensions, right? 15 times 10 times h, okay? So that would be kind of the algebraic approach, okay? Right, you could also think of it maybe a little less algebraically, right? So 15 times 10 is 150.
So would it be 0.5?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, so what you really had to kind of figure out was that third dimension is so small, right, that it kind of makes the volume go down. But yeah, you can definitely, right, we can have dimensions less than 1. So that's totally possible. So is everyone seeing how we got half a foot? Robert, you okay? Okay, if you aren't.
That makes sense. 15 times 10,
No,
115.
I'm following, just not understanding.
Okay. So this is pretty typical, right? To where they give us 3 of our 4 pieces, right? So we know the volume is 75.
Right.
And we know 2 of the 3 dimensions. So to figure out the other dimension, right, you just have to solve this equation for h. So we take the 2 dimensions that we know, 10 times.
Which is 150, right?
Yeah, so then we have 150 times h equals 75. So then how do we get h by itself? Well, it's 150 times h, so it's opposite of multiplying.
Divide.
Dividing. And so if you plug 75 in divided by 150 in your calculator, right? You just get 5. Right? This reduces to 1 half. And so, yeah, so hopefully everyone's at least, yeah, kind of catching on. And so, yeah, the only thing that made this one tricky, right, is that one, yeah, that one dimension. So, you know, like I said, probably the easier way, right, is to multiply the 2 dimensions, you know.
So it's 150 divided by what?
75.
75.
There's really 75 divided by 150. Yeah. Because if we did 150 divided by 75 would be 2. But 15 times 10 times 2 is not 300. That feeling a little better? So yeah, right. So hopefully if you know your shape, you know what measurement you have, find, right, your formula, plug in what you know, and then hopefully figure out what you don't know.
0.5. I get it.
So it's like if one of your dimensions is less than 1, right, that's gonna make the volume or the area go down. Okay, number 4, okay, we have our cylinder, okay, hopefully everyone is feeling good about that. And then just like we saw, right, in problem number 3, They give us the volume. Hopefully everyone is recognizing how, right, these word problems signal volume, right? And so if they're telling us the tank holds, right, and then remember cubic, right, is all of that, right, is right pointing us toward volume being our measure. Okay, so of course we know the total volume and we know the radius, right? However, we don't know how tall or we don't know the height of the water. So we'll take our formula for volume of a cylinder, plug in what we know. So we know that the volume equals pi times the radius squared. And then, right, here's our missing dimension. Okay. So once again, I kind of set these problems up algebraically. Probably for a cylinder, you're gonna have to do it algebraically compared to like our slab. So we start first, right? Follow the order of operations and simplify. So I need to square 10, that's 100, right? And 100 times pi gives me 314. So so 314 H. So I know that the total volume of the cylinder is equal to 314 times H. What should I do to figure out what H? Right, divide both sides by 314. So 6280. So the height is 20 feet. Is that what you got, Jose? Everyone feel okay about number 4? All right, the bottom one doesn't have a number for some random reason, but I think we've seen a problem kind of similar to this, and I think you guys should have been okay. So of course, the key information here is, right, that the area of the rectangle and the area of the square are equal, right? So once again, with the information we know about the square and the rectangle, right, we can find the missing dimension of our rectangle. Did anyone figure that out? 5? Good. How'd you get 5?
So I saw that area was square was 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
So pretty straightforward. They gave us a lot of help and information. We know the length of the side of the square, so we can calculate, right, the area that both the shapes have, right? So we know that the areas are equal, and we know that the area of the square, 10 times 10 is 100. So we know that the area of both is 100. So then we can look at what we know about our rectangle. We know that the length is 20. What times 20 is 100? Just like Jose said.
5.
Yep. Very good. Wonderful. How's everyone doing? Feeling good? Hopefully everyone's doing okay with this stuff. any final thoughts or questions before we're done with our warm up? Don't see anything in the chat. Hey, well, good job, everyone. Good workouts. Let's see. All right, where did we- Okay. So I think, well, okay, well, I just want to talk to you guys. We're going to switch gears briefly for a quick moment. And we'll talk about this more on Wednesday. We don't have all of the details 100% ready, but we do want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about our summer program. So I just want to remind everyone what is going to be happening. Maybe. Sorry, my brain. All right, and like I said, this isn't a final draft, but I just wanted, but anyway, just to kind of get you guys starting to think about what's going on, what's going to be happening in our first summers. Why do I keep opening the same freaking? It's so mushy. And I built up a lot of suspense and now I can't remember anything, right? Oh, ah.
Can you open it from Teams, Julie, and share it that way?
But I just kept. Okay, yeah, unfortunately, the one in Teams is, I don't know why, but it's messed up. Let me open a different one. Sorry for all of this wonderful, what happens when I think I have extra time? Okay. It's still messed up. Sorry. I'm so. I really regret not mapping this what day is it? Over the weekend, I think I should have. Yeah, like, ooh. Okay, let's look at this one. All right, so like I said, this isn't 100% finalized, and of course, when it is, we'll definitely be letting everyone know. Oopsie doodles. Yeah. Okay, and I'm sorry if this is small, hopefully. Okay. And so, oh, even my. Worry about that right now. So yes, unfortunately. So gotta love Microsoft Word. Okay, there we go. All right. So hopefully everyone remembers that this is our last week of our spring 2 quarter. And so we'll have our regular classes all this week. Hey, this week is normal. At least as normal as it can be for us. And then right the following week, so next week, May 15th through the 18th is going to be a break. We won't have classes, okay? If you want to work independently during this week, you can. And for some of you, we'll probably be asking you to come in and do a progress test. The other thing to remember, and I'm sorry to keep blasting a lot of information at you guys. So starting this Friday, May 12th, Community college is going into their summer schedule, which means that for Fridays, they will be closed. So we will still have class on Zoom this Friday, but 4th Street campus, Page campus will not be open this Friday, and then basically the rest of the Fridays until August. So just kind of be aware that, and I don't think a lot of you guys were Friday students anyway, but the building will be closed. We're technically not working those days, except for this Friday. So just be aware of that change. And so we're going to be kind of through the summer, we're going to be on a Monday, Thursday schedule. So hopefully everyone can make that work. So our first summer schedule, or our first summer class session is going to start Monday, May 22nd. However, we want to do something a little bit differently, and I'll be sending you guys more information on this. But yeah, so if you can read the little, I can read it for you. So because we only have a 5-week program for our first summer schedule, we wanted to try something different. So we're going to change things up starting Monday, the 22nd. Class will look differently than it has previously. This is brand new for everyone. So we're just trying this out, kind of see how it goes, but we just wanted to kind of find something that we thought would be useful and something we could kind of neatly package in this kind of shorter chunk of time. Okay. And so, yeah, so this summer we're offering a special short program. And so kind of like you're already doing, so you'll choose kind of a morning or an evening time slot. And then rather than having, right, multiple subjects of classes happening each week, instead, we're going to have a GED subject of the week. Okay. And so you can see here in this little row here. So the first week we'll focus on science, then we'll focus on social studies, then language arts, then math. And then in week 5, we're going to do kind of a special program called Life After GED. I think it will be a really fun and useful, it's a good use of our time, and it'll just help us kind of recalibrate and think about the goals that you did at the end of orientation and kind of see where you are. Because what our goal is to at least by attending all of these 5 weeks of classes, our goal is that you will be fairly familiar and have some practice in the 4 major GED subjects, that you will have taken a GED practice test in the 4 subjects. Okay, don't be afraid of the GED practice test. It is purely a tool that gives us data about what you know and what you need to know in order to be successful on each of these exams. So it really is just for you to get a feel for how, right, you're going to be tested, what it's going to look like, the kinds of questions you're probably going to see, and just kind of get that feeling under your belt, because, you know, the more and more practice and the more that you see, hopefully, right, when we get to the real boss level, right, you'll have practice and be confident and comfortable and confident as you can, right? So hopefully that sounds like a good use of our time. So then let's look at how, so for each of our weeks, right, we'll have a different GED subject highlight, okay? So like we said, right, we're gonna start off with science. So I guess the other thing to think about is if you've already passed a certain GED subject, you might, you know, if you don't need to attend anything about science, just talk to your teachers and say, hey, I don't need to focus on science this week like everybody. Can I work on X? And your teacher will say, of course, no problem. So don't feel like you know, but we feel like this is something that'll be good. Okay, I'm not doing good. So what you're gonna do, right? So we're gonna start off on Monday or Tuesday. So you're gonna choose to either come Monday or Tuesday morning or Monday or Tuesday evening. Ignore this and I haven't, like I said, this isn't finalized, but it's always good to have a visual. So you'll basically choose, right, morning or evening time. And then do you want to do Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday? Okay, so that's kind of your first steps. Am I a morning or an evening? And do I want to do Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday? Looks like Mary wants to wait.
I was just gonna add, because they can come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay,
If you come Monday morning and Tuesday morning, it might be very similar content and things that you're doing. So it might, if you feel like you need a rerun, yeah, you guys are not constrained, okay? But we're just trying to kind of, you know, be flexible and find time. So you can also see that we've kind of reduced our regular class blocks from 2 hours down to 90 minutes. But yeah, you can definitely come Monday, Tuesday, for sure. Wednesday, Thursday, if you want. It might just be a lot of overlap, but if you want a lot of practice, if you want a lot of time working with teachers in the classroom, this is the time, okay? So you'll definitely want to come either in the morning or the evening if possible, okay? And we'll do just kind of the highlights of the subject. So like you said, you know, we'll focus on science, we'll focus on social studies and so on. And then on Monday and Wednesday afternoons, we're just going to have the classroom and the Zoom open. So even though this is a 4-hour block of time, don't feel like you have to attend the full 4 hours. It really is just, once again, just time for you to come in and work on whatever subject we're working on. So whatever we focus on in the morning, if you come in on Monday afternoon, you'll get more intensive individualized practice with whatever we were working on, okay? So that's why I call it the workout. It's really just your time to keep polishing up whatever you need to do, okay? Then on Wednesday and or Thursday, if you come in the morning or the evening, excuse me. So yeah, so on that Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have everyone take the GED practice test in our subject of the week, okay? Once again, don't be intimidated. It will not hurt you, okay? If you don't get a good score, you know, it's definitely not one of those high stakes tests that like, you know, it's not like you need to get a driver's license here. It's just a practice test to see where you're at, okay? So I'll have everyone take a practice test on Wednesday or Thursday. And then if you come back on Thursday, if you came in on Wednesday, then we'll do this kind of debrief. So when you take the GED practice test, one of the cool things that it does is creates what's called a score report. And so based on your performance on the practice test, the GED creates the score report that says, here is a checklist of things that you need to work on and polish up in before, you know, either in order to become ready for the actual test, or if you want to boost your already passing score. The GED Ready practice test will tell you how likely you'll be to pass the actual test. So we kind of use that as another tool to help us confirm that you're ready. So we'll use the second day after your practice test to kind of debrief and get you some study materials. Or, you know, maybe you kicked total butt and you're just ready to schedule that test. We can do that during the debrief. So hopefully this isn't too confusing or overwhelming for folks. And of course, we'll be talking more. We'll be giving you guys more information, but hopefully this is going to be kind of an exciting change of pace. You know, don't worry. It's going to be a little rough, you know, and rocky, but it'll be good. okay? And so, yeah, and so of course, you'll also always be welcome to work on your independent courses. That might be something that we'll have you guys work on. And then what we want to do is the Friday, June 23rd, at the end of this 5-week intensive special program, hopefully we can have a potluck / picnic out at Bushmaster Park, because the other piece of this that we're trying to do to get everyone excited and ready to go is we'll be tallying points. So each week you have a chance to earn a specific amount of points. So we'll be, like I said, we'll be tallying everyone's points through the 5 weeks. And then at the end of the 5 weeks, there'll be a grand prize winner and other prizes. So hopefully prizes sound exciting and motivating. I think they are. I'm having fun just picking them. Cool. So anyway, more to come, but I just want to get everyone kind of ready, kind of thinking about this, and just being ready to know that things are going to look a little different, right, than what we've been doing. And so class times haven't really changed. The starting times of classes haven't changed. So hopefully that'll be good, but we'll shave off half an hour to kind of give us a little bit of summer downtime. All right. So anyway, any initial thoughts or questions or concerns? Like I said, I will be finalizing this, polishing it up a little bit more before I send it out officially to everyone. Yeah. Thoughts, comments, confusion? So of course, the goal will be that at least by the end of these 5 weeks, you'll have experienced all 4 of the GED subjects potentially, right? You could have passed some of these tests or at least scheduled some of these actual tests based on your practice test results. So hopefully that makes you guys excited. And if you kind of have that goal of trying to be finished with your GED, you know, before July, you know, that's kind of our goal. Don't worry if you don't feel like a failure if you don't, but you know, how many of you we can get across the finish line in the summer with kind of more of these intensive classes. Okay, I'll quit yammering. And yeah, Charity, if you can only come one of the 4 days a week, that is, yeah, you know, as much or as little as is possible is fine. But if you can only commit to 1 day, 1 time, we'll take it. Yeah, and it's totally up to you guys, right? I'm not picky about the learners that come into my classroom. So, and yeah, so if you wanted to do, an all day kind of Monday thing, hopefully, I mean, there should be a lot of flexibility in here. So don't feel like constrained by this calendar. If you need something else, or if your schedule is different, just talk to us, right? It's our job to help. So what's up, Samuel?
This starts on the 22nd.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very clearly.
It starts on the 22nd.
It starts on the 22nd of May. So like I said, we'll have regular classes this week, okay? Like we have been through the whole summer. Next week, we'll have a break from classes. And then, the summer program will start on the 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Already. Thank you.
Yeah, and like I said, there'll definitely be more information coming out. We're just trying to plant seeds. So everyone's kind of thinking and kind of, getting ready, but we definitely know that you have lives and schedules. Your kids might be home, right? So a lot of stuff changes in the summer. But hopefully you guys can stick with us too. So yeah. Good questions. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. So we'll take a break until 2:10. And then we'll come back and continue on with our surface series stuff, okay? Fiona, do you have our three-dimensional geometry packet? Okay. All right. All right, hopefully everyone's back from break. I'm a minute late, oh my God. Okay. So hopefully everyone is with me. We're still in our big, right, three-dimensional shape package, starting off with volume. So hopefully everyone has these materials. If not, let me know. I can at least put a link to them in the chat. You can swing by campus and pick it up if you want a hard copy. All right, and as you can see, we're on page 22. Well, I don't know if you guys can actually see that, pretty small. But we're on page 22, which is our other, right, important measure of 3 dimensions, surface area. So I want us to return to that. Thank you, Mary, for putting that link in the chat. All right. So we already talked about volume, and now we need to talk about surface area. And so just like it's telling us here, sorry guys, I'm not sharing the screen. That's probably the first thing. See, it's a good thing I tried to do this stuff. All right, there we go. All right, so hopefully everyone can see or has been able to find where we're at. A little bit, but I like reading dead person. Okay, so we know, right, that there's 2 types of measurement associated with our 3-dimensional objects. So we're going to focus on surface area. So surface area is a 2-dimensional measurement. Volume's 3-dimensional, just like area of 2-dimensional. Surface area is also, right, squared inches, squared feet, squared stuff. Okay. And the surface area is the area of the outside surface of an object. One of my teachers would be really mad that they use the same word in the definition as they have in the name, but we won't worry about that, right? So when we think about what surface area measures, right, if we have, for instance, a box, right, the surface area is the sum of the 6 areas of the outer surface, okay? So we know that a rectangular solid has 6 faces, like we see here. And so if we lay, right, those 6 faces out flat, what is the area of those 6 faces? You good? Okay.
No.
Right. Likewise, if we had a cylinder, the surface area is the sum of its top and bottom, which we know are circles, together with the area of its curved side, okay? So hopefully everyone feels good about what surface area is, okay? So, so hopefully everyone's feeling good. So if we take a rectangular solid, right, and break it down flat so that we have, right, our 6 faces. So we know, right, that, right, the sides are equal, top and bottom are equal, and the front and the back. So you have 6 faces, right? And right, 2 of the faces are equal. And so the surface area, right, is all 6 rectangles together. All right, we've done that, okay. Okay, so then if we were to, right, unfold a cylinder, you could kind of think of this, Mary, right, talked about if you took a label, right, off a can, right, and laid it out flat, right? So basically a cylinder is two circles with kind of a wrap, right? Wrap around them. So in order to calculate the surface area of a cylinder, right, we need both of the area of the top and the bottom, right? 2pi r squared, right? That's our area of a circle. And then to calculate, right, the area of the side, we take 2 times pi times the radius times height. Okay. So that's what the surface area of a cylinder formula looks like. Hopefully everyone feels confident about pi, about radius. About me if it's confusing. All right. So we went through these problems, or did we? Did we start working on these problems? Maybe. Okay. Well, let's talk about them together because I think that'll be helpful. Same time, just kind of rambling and mumbling. All right, so a rectangular solid measures 4 feet long, 3 feet high, and 2 feet wide. And so, right, we know that the top is 2 by 4. Does everyone agree? Did we do this? Okay. So the top is 2 feet by 4 feet. The left side is by 2. And then the front is 3 by 4. Does everyone agree? Good. Okay. So then the area of the top is going to be 8 square feet. The area of the left side is going to be 6. And the area of the front is 12. Okay. So then counting all 6 sides, what is the surface area of the rectangular solid? So hopefully everyone agrees, right? Since we have a top and a bottom, and a left and a right. Let me know if I'm going too fast, and then a front and a back. Then what, I have 28 plus 24, 52. That about sound all right? So maybe breaking it down like that's helpful, but yeah, just make sure, right, that you know your 3 dimensions and you're making kind of 3 combinations of those 3 numbers, multiplying them together, double them, right, and then add them up, give us the surface area. Everyone okay with number 1, A and B? Oh. All right, I think we did this one too, but. So now we have our cylinder, okay? We know the height is 60. And we know that the radius is 7. So we need to figure out the area of the top, okay? So we're just doing the top, so that's right, pi r squared should give us the area of the top. So 7 times 7 is 49. I decided to close this all the way. And then 49 times pi.
Hundred fifty-three point 86.
Sounds good. Yep. Yeah, we did. So good. So the area of the circle. Okay. Good. So the surface area of the curb side, can't remember, what is it like? 2 pi r. That. Yeah. 2 pi times the radius times the height. And so. Whoopsie. Ah. All right, 2 times pi times the radius times the height. So that's our surface area, right, at the curb side. All right, and then surface area. So we need to take 2 for our top and bottom, so 153.86 times 2 plus the curb side. So I'll get a total of 2,945.32 square feet for the surface area of the silo. Does that feel all right? Good. Okay. I do remember number 3 now. So is everyone feeling strong about calculating surface area? All right, let's jump to the problems that we stopped on. So this should be after the pyramid, after that. All right, I think we left off on page 25, is that right? Okay. Yes, that's where we should be, okay? So how far did you guys get in these on Monday, or last Wednesday, sorry? Got to number 10? Okay, good. All right, well, let's go ahead and just kind of work through these. Hopefully, you guys had a chance to work on these, but good. Okay, so for number 5, we have a box. And we need to figure out the surface area. We know our 3 dimensions. So, we have not on draw. Okay, so we know that we have 2. Okay. Is everyone seeing how I'm plugging in the dimensions of the box into the surface area formula? Okay. And it feels like a lot. Hopefully it's not too scary, right? We just do our multiplying and then adding. So the 6. That feel good. So 22 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay. stop me if you have questions or problems, hopefully. Like I said, surface area, it always kind of looks complex, but you know, hopefully. It's feeling better. All right, number 6. Now we're just gonna find the volume of the box, right? Much easier. 2 times 3 times 1. So we know that the volume of the box is 6 cubic feet. Okay. All right, what about number 7? Which of the following shows a correct pattern for making a closed cardboard box from a flat piece?
You just turned on the mic, so you can say it again.
2. Good. Thank you. How do we know it's 2? Whoa, hi, sorry guys, hopefully not making you sick there, turning the camera around. Okay. Good, so we know that, right, we have our. So you might have been able to figure out 2, right, because it's the only one with 6 spaces. Maybe you guys know origami. Of course, we could almost have a box with 3, it just wouldn't have a lid. Although you'd also probably have to take the corners together. But very nicely done. Thank you guys. Okay. Number 8, the illustration shows a truck bed with no top, right? So here, right, we have to take note, that's our key language here. What's the surface area of the inside of the truck bed? Okay. So if we look here, okay, I see the front and the back. 8, so I have 2 of those. And I have a left side and a right side, which is 3 by 11. I only have a bottom, but not a top, and the bottom is 8 by 11. How does my setup? That's good. Okay, I'm gonna say everyone's thinking I'm doing good. 3 times 8 is 24 times 2 is 3. And where did I set it? That's wrong. So I got a total of 202 square feet. Anyone get that answer for number 8? Get something different. Right, if you got 290, that means you added a top, right? Yeah, right. And that was right. The biggest kind of thing here is if we have the box with no top, then we have 5 faces instead of 6. So it shouldn't be too hard or scary, hopefully. All right. What is the surface area of a cube that measures 1 inch on each side? Should be pretty easy, right? 6, right?
Oh,
6.
Yeah.
6 square inches. Yep. about 1 through 9. Any questions or concerns? Good. Excellent. All right, let's look at number 10. Good old brand plus. All right, a 7-ounce cereal box is 16 centimeters long, 6 centimeters wide, and 24 centimeters high. So you have to find the surface area of the cereal box. So we have our 3 dimensions, so that makes life easy. Front and back is 24. Top. All right, so I got my dimensions plugged in. Where the numbers are, I am gonna need a calculator. And I guess I could type this whole thing in. I'm not very good at that. Guess I'm too lazy. So I got 1,248 square centimeters for the surface area of the cereal box. Don't you got, Kason? Oh, okay. You got to 10 minutes. Cool. And then of course volume, much easier. We just multiply our dimensions together. So 2,304 cubic centimeters. How's this feeling for everyone? Good, good.
So what's,
Wait, where?
so what's it?
Oh, the centimeter squared is the unit for,
1,248.
right,
That's the
surface
result of,
area.
yeah, that's the result of adding 768, 192, 288.
Yeah.
Then there's a further step.
No. So
So
no,
what's
multiply your 3 dimensions and then multiply them by 2 and then add up those 3 areas.
that?
This is the volume. So remember, volume is just our 3 dimensions.
Okay. And that's the surface area, right?
No, volume,
That's volume. And on the right is surface area.
yes. So volume, we multiply the 3 dimensions together for surface area. Right here is the front and back. Here is the top and bottom. Here's the left and right side.
Okay.
And since we have 2 of each of those, we find the area of the rectangle times 2 and then add up the areas to get the surface. So yeah, these are the 2 measurements associated with 3-dimensional shapes. You're either going to be asked to calculate the surface area or the volume, or of course, more likely you'll be given a surface area or a volume, right, and asked to find a missing dimension. So, yeah, just always make sure that, right, you know your dimensions. So of course, like you said, surface area, right, is a 2-dimensional measure, right? It's measured in square, whatever. Volume is a 3-dimensional. So it's cubic.
So do we always go in order of top, left side, front?
No, it doesn't matter which order you put those in.
Okay,
The most important thing is that you know the 3 different dimensions of the 3 like groups of faces. Yeah, but the order doesn't matter. Like I said, for me, keeping track of my 6 faces, the front to back, left to right, top, bottom, helps me remember all of the surfaces I have to account for in the figure. Yeah. But it's not really hard math, it's just organizing it into the formula with confidence. Okay. Very, very good. All right, let's. All right. So once again, just kind of breaking down the cylinder. Hopefully everyone's feeling confident about that. So. So what this is trying to remind us, right, is that when we have a cylinder, right, the length dimension of the cylinder is equal to the circumference of the circle, right? If we took this circle and like cut it, and if it was like string, right, then we'd stretch it out and it would be this length. So what this is telling us, and we've already, I mean, it's already in the formula, so it shouldn't, shouldn't need to worry about it too much, but visually, hopefully everyone's seeing how basically, right, they're saying that the length of the rectangle that makes up the height of, or the middle face of our cylinder, right, is the same as. So the distance around the outside of the circle, the perimeter of the circumference, right, is equal to the length. So like if this circle was just string, if we cut it, right, and laid it out flat. So that means that here they're using diameter, but two are same as diameter, right? So they're really just having us figure out the total surface area of the cylinder. We have, right, 2, 3, and 5. I wrote that backwards. 2 times 5, right? So this part of our formula, right, represents, right, this part here. This part of our formula, right, represents the top and the bottom. And so if you're going to plug it in, we have 2. plus 2 times I times square. Oh, no. So where did I keep doing? So let's see, 250, 500. To, so surface area of this is 2,198 square centimeters. So everyone's very quiet. I'm sure your brains are pretty full. Okay, everyone with me okay? Hanging in there, hopefully seeing how things are working. For the most part, yeah. Okay. All right. So looks like we just have this mixed review to kind of wrap everything up. So why don't you guys spend the remainder of class working on the 18 problems on the next 2 pages that make up this review, okay? And so hopefully everyone's noticing that, right? Number or part A and B, right? We're going back to our perimeter and area. So make sure, right, that feels good. And hopefully everyone remembers that complex perimeter pieces. You have enough information there, right, to find the
Calculator. I'll let you guys work on this for the rest of class and then we'll see how far you guys get by 3. And then we'll probably just talk about these on Wednesday.
See you later. Pretty much. The summer program, pretty much the day that you would have to come is on a Monday, right? Monday, and then you want more practice and you come back just come back Thursday for the GED practice.
Wednesday or Thursday. Yep. Yeah, if you came back on, or if you could make it so that you could come back on Wednesday and take your practice test, and then on Thursday, go over the scoreboard. So if you could do like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, but you could also do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday if you wanted. Yeah, that's basically I'm feeling good about these problems. Are they going okay? Ed, and after testing all morning? Yeah, definitely no pressure to continue. Your cognitive load is probably maxed out. But we'll work on this more. Everything made sense though and felt okay?
Yeah.
All right, see you around.
Are we gonna review this?
Wednesday, yeah. You guys want to keep working for the next 8 minutes, you're more than welcome to. Ideally, if you had these 18 problems answered and ready to talk about when we start on Wednesday, that would be grand. But yeah, you guys still have another 7 minutes or so to work. Here, if you have questions, if your brain is tired, you can definitely have these 7 minutes to do that. Sounds good.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. This Wednesday, and next week is. Work with me. Drop me an email and schedule it. Except, let me just get one. Yeah, okay, it's completely based on the shape, since the overall shape is parallel. The stop is fine, so that's the height. It's not slant, it's anytime I use the map, is it's the triangles are all. Fine, I'll do these. That'd be correct. And here's cylinder, this says the radius is 10, so you cut it to 10. If it said T equals 10, then the radius would be 5. That's significantly smaller. That's what you're gonna put into your R. Do for the whole span again, you put 12 H. So never leave it, I did write down the formula and put in the numbers, and then you should have to. But don't cut it in half unless you do the diagonal.